Perfect, lovely. Okay, we're ready. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming. If you don't know me, I am Amy T, and I have a lovely little podcast called Spill the Tea, which welcomes guests that we connect on golf, but we talk about lifestyle and everything around golf. Today I have the lovely Darcey Harry with me, and we're going to jump in to have a little chat. So welcome, Darcey.
Thank you.
We're going to start with what first got you into golf? Where did it start for you?
All my brothers kind of played
Really?
it, so I think I just wanted to do what they did,
Uh-huh.
and they all went out and they were playing, and one of my brothers was traveling the world doing it, so I decided I wanted
Really?
to travel the world and do the same thing.
And
so
what
here we are
age was
today.
that?
I kind of always played golf. I really didn't really get into it probably until the later stage. Between 10 and 13 was when I kind of
Yep.
really decided, okay, I'll pick
Go
up that
for
sport.
it. Also big into your horse riding. What made you choose? Was it ever horse riding over golf or golf over horse riding? What was the
No,
decision?
horse riding's always been a hobby.
Is it? Okay.
Hobby for me. It's
Yeah.
always just been like the happiness and
Yeah.
the time off, the seriousness, and it's lovely having an animal and being part of a sport that does involve animals, and it is really great therapy and
Oh, gosh,
relaxation and stuff. It's stressful, but it's super fun.
And growing up, competitive golf, how was that? How did you find that?
Yeah, it's good. Like, you know, amateur golf and pro golf don't really feel that much different, really. I think it's just the continuous competitive competitions that you're in when you turn professional. But growing up I love competing, and I think I always loved going out there and competing in golf. So for me, it's always been exciting, and I've always wanted to go out and compete every week. So it's great.
Big involved in Wales golf. Was it trickier when you were younger to kind of push up through the ranks? What is the system like now? Is it great to get more girls into golf, kids into golf and pushing up through?
I actually played with the undevelopment girls the other day for Wales Golf,
Amazing.
which was really, really nice. And they've got so many talented girls coming through. And wow, they're really, really good already, and they're all so young. So that's really exciting to see how many girls they do have coming through, because I think there was one point a few years ago they were kind of struggling to get girls into golf, and I think they've started lots of development programs going to schools, and they've done a really good job of it. Because there's
Amazing.
so many girls have joined the development squads. They've got a great national team now, and I think the girls are coming on really well. So
Amazing.
I think there's lots of girls aspiring to be professionals, and I'm sure they'll all be on the tour in a few years.
And speaking of that, what would you recommend? We've got lots of little kids. They're all big into their golf. What's one thing you'd recommend for getting onto tour or going into professional golf? What's one thing you'd recommend?
It's making sure you've got like a good support group around you, and you know, having the coaches around you that are there for you and there for your dream. And I think no dream is too big, and you know, set yourself sights really high, and that kind of drives you, and then you kind of have that aspiration to keep doing it and just keep following that dream.
What is one thing golf taught you from an early age? Because you've got to be quite strict with yourself, I'm sure. What is one thing that it's taught you?
Wow, I'd love to say patience, but I'm
Yeah.
still working on that one. But discipline, and also it kind of, I think I grew up at a young age, and I mean, I don't feel 23, and a lot of people kind of really surprised when I say I'm 23 because they think I'm like 27. But I think when you travel the world at a young age, you do learn maturity, and going to airports, getting on planes on your own, and having delays. And I think you just learn so much about travel, and kind of how to cope with yourself, because it's you're looking after
the
yourself
world,
on your own.
yeah.
And you go to so many crazy countries, and I mean, I've got allergies, so for me it's like trying to figure out what I can eat, what I can't
God.
eat, and learning different languages.
Yeah.
There's so much more to just playing golf.
Yeah.
And I actually think the playing golf bit is probably the smallest
Part of
aspect
it
to
all.
it. Yeah.
How have you found that tour life? Is it enjoyable? Are there bits that aren't so enjoyable?
Yeah, I think the travel gets exhausting after a while, especially I think near the end of the season when your body feels like it's aged about 50 years, and that's tough.
Yeah.
But the competitive side is just amazing. I think if you're a competitive person, golf is a great sport to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just it's great you get to be out all the time, and it's so nice how many steps a day I do. I love counting my steps and stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, I always enjoy doing that, and I think it's a whole experience from the travels of the golf and the friends you get to meet. I think it's pretty surreal how many friends I have who aren't from the UK, which a lot of people don't ever get to experience having that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, really.
Of it. Now, yesterday I was very lucky and I got to play in the Pro-Am. Amazing course. What are your thoughts for this week? How are you attacking it?
Yeah, it's a pretty nice course. It's very different to last year's course.
Yeah.
But it's really nice, and it's nice to be playing links because we don't get to play links at all.
Right.
It's quite dry out here, so it's quite nice. You can get the ball running, and the rough is not as thick as it was when I came up here a few months ago to play.
Interesting.
So, which is quite nice. It's quite deceiving though, because I think when I turned up for the first time on Monday, I was like, oh, looks like there's no rough at all. And then I hit a few shots from it, and I was like, oh no, the rough's still there.
Yeah.
It's just a bit deceiving.
Yeah.
So, but the greens are amazing. It's so
Really
lovely.
good,
It's like putting on a carpet.
Yeah.
So that's a golfer's dream, really. And I mean, the atmosphere here is amazing. The amount of people that have turned up today is
lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really nice to see.
And I really struggled physically. I got to like hole 12 and I was like, this is enough for me. I'm done. Physically and mentally, how would you go into a week like this? Have you got a training program that you're following?
I think every week is very different. You have to listen to your body. Like some days, if you're tired, you just have to go home. And everyone's very different. Though some people like to push through it. Some people take that time away. But weeks like this, these are some of the weeks that sometimes you forget to really enjoy and embrace. So this week, I kind of said to myself, right, for the practice days, I'm really going to just enjoy being here, because this is once a year, and not many people get to ever play the British Open. So. That's another thing, and just coming out, I can't wait to go to the shop to have a look and get some goodies, and so things like that. Just like trying to enjoy it and not be too intense. I usually play 9 holes every day, so I played 3 sets of 9, and done my practice, done what I needed to do all my drills, and I've got my passing coach here, which is nice. So he's helped out really, really a lot. So it's been nice to have everything set up already.
Day to day, how much practice are we looking at? Hours?
Like here this week?
Yeah.
I have been here probably all day.
Have you?
I think it's funny, you look at it and you're like, okay, I'm just going to be here not too long today, but then you end up turning up at 8 and you don't really leave until maybe 5, 6 o'clock. But again, it's the whole experience. There's so many things to do, and like the players' lounge is amazing. We've got recovery rooms, all the physios are here, a great gym. Got the shops, and all the facilities are amazing, which you don't sometimes get every week. So again, when you get the opportunity to have the facilities like we do this week, you want to use them. So these days will be a lot longer, but there's a lot more facilities.
Amazing. And last year, Porthcawl, first Open. How did you find all of that? And being at home as well. So much support for you, which was amazing. Nervous?
Yeah, I think the first tee was the most scared, nervous, anxious I've ever been.
Yeah.
But it was really good. It was like a good buzz, and had my boyfriend on the bag to kind of like calm me down. And so it wasn't too bad. I went out there having a laugh, but I think all I wanted to do on the first hole was just get it in the sky and not top it, or get it past the women's tee box. And I think I barely even had a practice swing. I think I just stood up and just hit it, because I just needed to just get it away. But then every day it kind of got easier and easier, the tee shot. So for the first tee shot was probably the scariest and the hardest one, I think. Because it was the hard hole we started on as well.
Tricky,
so, and especially on the last day, it was blowing into wind. And I think so many people hit drive off deck and still didn't make the green. So first hole was carnage last year, but it's a bit of a shame it's like not there again this year. I think it's quite sad every time I go to Porthcawl, and I'm kind of expecting to see the tents and the players, but it's really empty up there now. So that's quite sad. But hopefully it'll come back in a few years.
At Porthcawl, how would you go into attacking the nerves? Because, or even here, is it a bit like the more you play professionally, the nerves die down a bit, or is it still like you're standing on the first tee here on Thursday and going, oh, okay, here we go?
I feel like nerves fluctuate.
Okay.
Like, I think this year I've really struggled with nerves, whereas last year I probably didn't struggle as much. I think, it just goes up and down, and it takes a few really good competitions to kind of get rid of those nerves. But it's just something that you just have to go into it headstrong and kind of learn to enjoy them. Because if you're nervous, then that means you're in usually a good position with golf.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of embrace that and just learn to deal with it. And I think if you can learn to deal with golf nerves, you can learn to deal with anything.
Yeah, and find it enjoyable. And when you can find it fun, it doesn't become so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, no. I think, again, there's like good nerves and bad nerves, and you just have to learn to like try and get the good nerves.
Amazing. Now, one question I ask everyone on the podcast, what is one thing you would change about golf?
Probably a bit like you said, make it about 13 holes, because I
okay.
feel like you get through about the 13th hole, and sometimes you just don't want to carry on. And sometimes if you're having a bad day, then the 13th hole then is done. Whereas then you've got to fight out a few more holes at the end of the day. But then if you're having a really good day, you don't have those extra 5 holes to mess up. But then sometimes if you're having a good day, you want to carry on and have 30. But I do think maybe cutting it a few holes would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would vote for that as well. It wouldn't be as long as a day as well, because sometimes we have 6-hour days out on the course, which are really long, especially in the heat. So if they cut it to like 13, 14 holes, we could all be done. And I'm sure some of the staff would agree.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer a bit quicker play? I mean, it can't be nice being out there for hours and hours and hours.
I think there's, like, I'm middle ground. I don't want slow play. You don't ever want to be waiting, but you also don't want to be rushed. Because I think the game of golf should never be rushed, because it does take a lot of concentration. Again, it's not just golf, so much does go into it. So, I'm like in the middle.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from anyone? Would anyone like to ask any questions for lovely Darcey? Oh, how do you stay fueled? Great question.
I love taking sweets out on the course.
Sweeties.
Probably the right, not the right nutrition, but I think just to like tempt me to eat. Because sometimes when you are nervous, you don't get hungry, and I don't. So I think I have to tempt myself with sweets or chocolate, or I always have a banana at the start of the round. I always make sure to put a banana in my bag.
And you have great facilities here. They've got every food you could even ever dream of. Do you take things out from there?
Yeah, they've got loads of things, especially for this week. They'll have like takeaway sandwiches and boxes. So, and they've got loads of bars for the girls, which is really, really lovely. Like the whole effort and time they put into making everyone comfortable and making them fueled is so lovely. So you just have to give a big thanks to the RNA.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Darcey. It's been amazing, and best of luck for the rest of the week.